Have you ever wondered what really happens inside a dog's body when they eat wet food every day? It's not just about them enjoying the food more or wagging their tails when you open the food container. The biggest changes happen where you can't see them, in their digestive system, kidneys, skin, and even how their bodies use nutrients daily. Many people see wet food as just a special treat. They only give it to their dogs when their pets are picky eaters or want a change of pace. But what few people know is that for many dogs, regular wet food supplementation can create significant changes over time. To understand why, we need to go back tens of thousands of years. Dogs' ancestors were predators. Each prey they ate contained a lot of water, so their bodies evolved to get most of their water directly from the food, not just from a water bowl. Today, most pet dogs eat dry food with very low moisture content. This forces the body to compensate for the water deficit each day. Meanwhile, wet food contains much higher water content, helping to bring moisture levels closer to the natural diet of their ancestors. But does this really make dogs healthier? Does it improve digestion, weight control, or coat health, as many people claim? And more importantly, why do some veterinarians still recommend dry food? In this video, we'll explore 6 of the biggest changes when dogs eat wet food daily, and also learn about a very common mistake that can turn all those benefits into harm if you don't know how to use it correctly. If asked to choose just one major benefit of wet food, many veterinarians would say it's its ability to provide hydration. It sounds simple, but this is a factor affecting many internal organs that we often overlook. Most dogs can drink water when thirsty. However, that doesn't mean they always get enough water each day. Especially with older dogs, those who are less active, or those who don't have a habit of drinking a lot of water, their bodies can experience prolonged mild dehydration that owners may not easily notice. When dogs eat wet food, each meal is also a natural water replenishment. This helps maintain a more stable water intake instead of relying solely on a water bowl. As a result, the kidneys and urinary system work more efficiently, and urine is more diluted, reducing the risk of crystal or stone formation in some high-risk dogs. Not only that, water plays a crucial role in most bodily processes, from transporting nutrients and regulating body temperature to aiding digestion. When the body is adequately hydrated daily, many organs function more efficiently. Of course, this doesn't mean you can remove your dog's water bowl. Clean water should always be readily available. But if the daily food also contains a sufficient amount of water, the dog's body won't have to constantly compensate for deficiencies as before. And this is just the first change. Interestingly, after only 1 or 2 weeks, many owners begin to notice another very clear sign, not in the coat or weight, but in something they see almost every day but rarely pay attention to. That is, the sign that the dog's digestive system is changing in a positive direction. One of the most noticeable signs after switching to wet food isn't the food bowl, but the way your dog relieves itself. It might not sound appealing, but it's a simple way to monitor their digestive health. If your dog is absorbing nutrients well, their stools will usually be smaller, firmer, and more consistent. This indicates the body is utilizing more nutrients instead of eliminating them. Conversely, if the stools are consistently too soft, too dry, or irregular, it could be a sign of digestive problems or an unsuitable diet. In addition, many people are surprised to see their dog's weight stabilize even without a significant change in food intake. This is because wet food contains more water, allowing for larger portion sizes without necessarily increasing calorie intake. This helps dogs feel fuller for longer after meals. Protein in the food also plays a very important role. When a diet is rich in quality protein, the body tends to maintain muscle mass better, and hunger comes on more slowly. Instead of constantly searching for food or waiting by the bowl, many dogs become calmer after each meal. However, that doesn't mean wet food always helps with weight loss. If you overfeed or choose a high-energy type without adjusting the portion size, dogs can still gain weight as usual. The important thing isn't whether the food is dry or wet, but the total amount of nutrients appropriate for each dog's age, size, and activity level. And when the body starts absorbing nutrients more efficiently, there will be a part of the body that reflects this very clearly. You may not notice it right away, but after a few weeks of petting your dog, you'll feel the difference in their coat. There's a reason why veterinarians often look at a dog's skin and coat before assessing its overall health. The coat not only determines its appearance, but also quite clearly reflects the quality of nutrition its body is receiving. If your dog has a dry, brittle, easily broken coat or unusually excessive shedding, the cause isn't always due to excessive bathing or weather changes. Sometimes, it's a sign that the body is lacking essential nutrients to nourish the skin and coat from within. Quality wet food usually provides a more easily absorbed source of animal protein and fats. When the body receives sufficient nutrients over a long period, many owners begin to notice the coat becoming softer, shinier, and shedding gradually decreasing. This isn't a change that happens in a few days, but after about 3 to 4 weeks, you can clearly feel it when petting your dog. Not only does the appearance change, but eating behavior can also be different. Some dogs used to eat very quickly, constantly looking around as if afraid their food would be taken away. Others would stand next to their bowl after eating or search for food all over the house. When given a moist, more filling meal, many dogs become calmer after eating. They are no longer as impatient or constantly demanding food as before. This is especially helpful for dogs that have a habit of eating too quickly or always seem hungry even after just eating. However, there is still one very important thing that many people often overlook. This mistake causes many dogs to have problems even though their owners have spent a lot of money on the best wet food. And that will be the content of the next section. At this point, you might be wondering, if wet food offers so many benefits, why don't people feed it to their dogs every day? The answer is that wet food itself isn't a miracle cure. Its value depends heavily on how you use it. Just a few seemingly harmless habits can reduce its benefits, or even affect your dog's health. The most common mistake is leaving wet food in the bowl for too long. Unlike dry food, wet food contains a lot of moisture, so bacteria can grow quickly when left at room temperature. Many people have a habit of filling the bowl in the morning and letting their dog eat it throughout the day. This can increase the risk of food contamination, especially on hot days. If your dog hasn't finished eating after about 1 to 2 hours, you should discard the remaining food instead of leaving it in the bowl. Unused food should also be covered and stored in the refrigerator. When feeding your dog again, let the food warm up slightly before serving. The aroma will be stronger, and many dogs will enjoy it more. Also, if your dog is used to dry food, don't switch to wet food abruptly. Their digestive system needs time to adjust. Start by mixing a small amount of wet food with their old ration, then gradually increase it over 5 to 7 days. A gradual transition will help minimize digestive upset and make it easier for your dog to accept the new food. And finally, there's one important thing any dog owner should remember before making a complete change to their pet's diet. It's also the biggest message of this entire video. After all we've learned, you'll probably realize the right question isn't, is wet food better than dry food, but rather, which type of food is best for my dog? Every dog is different. A growing puppy will have different nutritional needs than an older dog. Highly active dogs also need different diets than dogs that live mostly indoors. Therefore, there's no one-size-fits-all diet. If you want to supplement your dog's daily diet with wet food, prioritize products with clearly traceable animal protein sources, a balanced composition, and that fully meet your dog's nutritional needs. Also, don't forget to monitor their weight, energy levels, digestion, and coat for the first few weeks. Your dog's own body will tell you whether the new diet is truly suitable. Besides food, remember that a dog's health depends on many other factors such as clean water, daily exercise, sleep, dental care, and regular checkups. A good diet is far more effective when combined with a healthy lifestyle. Ultimately, what your dog needs isn't the most expensive meal, but a proper diet and consistent attention from its companion. Sometimes, just a small change in daily care can make a big difference to your four-legged friend's health and quality of life. If you're feeding your dog wet food daily, please share in the comments what breed your dog is and what changes you've noticed since switching to this diet. If you're considering changing your pet's diet, let everyone know your biggest concerns. Perhaps the experiences of other dog owners will help you make the best choice. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to discover more scientific knowledge that will help you understand and care for your dog better.